This is Come and See with Father Philip Hall, turning to and following Christ in the 21st century. Father Philip is parish priest at All Saints of Lincolnshire Orthodox Church in Lincoln, England.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, God is one. Amen. Begin by reading Ephesians 2:14-22 and Luke 18:35-43. In the Gospel reading today we have the man who's called Bartimaeus. He was blind. He had been blind. He was living in Jericho. He was sitting in the dust. He was living in one of the worst parts of all of the Jewish area, a place that was well known for its vice. It was downhill from Jerusalem in every possible way. And hearing going past the crowd, he calls out, "What's happening?" And the people tell him. He starts shouting at the top of his voice, "Son of David, have mercy upon me." And those good people of Jericho tell him to shut up. In other words, they're telling him to stop praying. What a horrible and terrible thing that is once one realizes that. Stop praying, they say. They don't know they're saying that, but that's what they're saying. Stop praying. And what does he do? He shouts all the louder and prays much more loudly than before. "Son of David, have mercy upon me." Until in the end, God himself hears him, stops in his way out of Jericho, the place of iniquity and sin, and turns round and calls the man to him. And we know the rest of the story. He receives his eyes, and he then follows Christ on the way. In other words, he goes with him up to Jerusalem and would have been one of the people who witnessed what happened at the cross, the tomb, and the resurrection, the ascension, and the coming of the Holy Spirit. Wow, what a prayer he did. "Son of David, have mercy upon me." And notice the way that he takes his opportunity. The Lord was not in the habit of going past that way, but when that particular man, Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, saw what was happening, or internally saw what was happening, he begins to shout with all of his might, asking for mercy, God's loving kindness to descend upon him. And God hears him, and God's loving kindness descends upon him, and he becomes a witness with his brand new eyes to the resurrection and the salvation of all of humanity. Now, what should have those people in Jericho, what should they have done? Well, if you look at Ephesians chapter 2 again, you'll notice that St. Paul talks about the church as being like a series of bricks, each one resting upon another, each one holding the other one in place, each one strengthening and making firm the next one, each one providing all that is necessary to keep the other one in its allotted place, where the builder himself has put it. And that's what those people should have done. They should have seen the blind man at the side of the road and said to themselves, "Wow, this is our opportunity. Bartimaeus, come with us. Come and meet God. Maybe he will do something for you." And God would have seen their faith, and he would have cured Bartimaeus and given him new eyes in the same way that he did. Instead of which, those bricks along the road to Jerusalem from Jericho were scattered in every direction. They were not placed one against another. They did not form a single wall. Now, this has got a lot to do with us. In our church communities, we ourselves must form a single building, a single wall, each person pressed up against the next, each one supporting the other to be in their heavenly place as the building goes up. Each person stuck with mortar against the other one, firm and resolute, and not telling the others to shut up, to behave themselves, to make themselves no longer a nuisance. Also, we can learn from Bartimaeus himself, this good son of Timaeus, that we need to take our opportunities, and when we hear God going past, maybe only once, to shout out, with all of our might for his mercy, his loving kindness, and invite him to come to you so that he can make us see the cross, the death, the entombment, the resurrection, and the ascension, and salvation, not only of ourselves, but of all humanity. Your prayers, God bless you. Amen.
Join us again next time for Come and See with Father Philip Hall, a listener-supported presentation of Ancient Faith Radio.